Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it's the finale of this homestand. The Astros taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros can have a 3-3 homestand with a win tonight. They've traded one-run decisions with the Redbirds, JD.
And tonight they're up against a big right-hander, Lance Lynn, who's yielding just a .215 batting average, so tough to get hits against this guy. But if somebody can, it's the Astros second baseman, Jose Altuve. This guy makes contact better than just about any other hitter in Major League Baseball. If you throw it in there, he's going to put the barrel on it more times than not. So difficult to defend. He hits the ball all over the field, down the line, in the alleys, and he's got enough pop where the outfielders can't cheat in on him, and he gets a lot of base hits over the infield in front of the outfielders as well. It has been fun to watch. Last 7 games, 485 for Altuve.
He hustles to first and beats out another one. Lance Lynn is his mount opponent tonight. Jay Happ goes for the Astros in the deciding game of this 3-game series next.
By the Progressive Insurance Group. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by Columbia Pictures movie That's My Boy, starring Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, in theaters June 15th. Our boys are in the booth. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
Thank you, Greg. Final game of the homestand. St. Louis and Houston getting ready to meet for the finale of this second series that they have played against each other. They'll meet again in August. In tonight's game, we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. And today, every home run in this game raises $10,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org. Now the Redbirds, with a 29-28 record, come up with this batting order, brought to you by Hyundai. Rafael Furcal at shortstop, Carlos Beltran in right field, Matt Holliday in left. Alan Craig at first base, David Freese at third. Yadier Molina is the catcher with Tyler Green at second base. Shane Robinson plays center field, batting eighth, and it's Lance Lynn pitching.
Well, first we'll show you the bad news. In 9 starts against the Cardinals in his career, Jay Happ is 1-7 with a 6.70 ERA.
He gets strike one from Furcal.
But the good news is, over his last 4 starts this year, he's 2-2, and his ERA is 2.13. Really throwing the ball well.
Misses with that one. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Furcal. Furcal 2 for 9 in this series, including a home run in the opener Tuesday night. That brings it in for a strike. It's 1-2 to the speedy leadoff man, who is tied for 5th in hits in the National League. Happ 4-5 with a 4.31 ERA. Happ misses outside. That brings the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes on Furcal. Furcal has scored 39 runs. That's tied for 5th in the National League as well.
Happ averaging a strikeout per inning pitched among the league leaders. His walk rate is down from last year.
Ouch. Off the bare hand of Mr. Chris Snyder. Ouch is right.
See that exposed right hand, catches the foul tip from Furcal. Well, let's take a look at the Astros defensively. It's Martinez, Schaefer, Bogusevic left to right in the outfield. Infield of Johnson, Lowry, Altuve, and Wallace. And you just saw big Chris Snyder get dinged up with that foul tip.
Rafael Furcal back in the box. And the 2-2 pitch will be coming from Jay Happ to him. For strike 3, he was off balance on that swing. Happ buzzed it over the outside corner to open with a strikeout.
Fastball just off the outside. Furcal figured he better take a whack at it, and he was late getting started.
Now switch hitting former Astro Carlos Beltran, 1 for 5 in this series. 275 for the season. He leads the league in homers with 15. He's 3rd in runs batted in with 42. And there's a quality pitch for strike 1. The Redbirds are 1st in runs scored right now. There's a liner to left field. JD 2 outs. Astros took the opener of this series Tuesday night, 9-8. St. Louis came back with a 4-3 win last night. Matt Holliday, who got the night off last night after starting the opener, has a little rest as he approaches this game with a 271 average, 10 homers, 35 runs batted in.
Holliday 5 out of 11 with 1 home run plus 4 walks against Jay in his career.
He looks at ball 1. Alan Craig's on deck. Strike for Jay. That evens the count at 1-1. At home, Happ is 4-3. His ERA here at Minute Maid Park is 3.83.
And that fastball in and out. His fastball command has been very good in recent starts. Velocity up a little bit over last year. He's also using his 2-seam fastball a little bit more frequently. It's fastball, curveball, slider, change. Throw both the 4-seamer and a 2. Here comes a high 4-seamer.
Foul back. The Cardinals got 3 in the first last night and then held on for a 4-3 win as the Astros stranded 13. Mike Matheny's club 3 games out, tied for 2nd, coming into play today in the NL Central. Breaking pitch in the dirt makes it 2-2. The Redbirds have gone 3-6 on this road trip. They lost 2 of 3 in Atlanta and lost 3 of 4 in New York. Astros are 3-2 against St. Louis this year. Swing and a miss, and an impressive first inning for half in 1-2-3 fashion with a couple of punch outs. No score. Schaefer, Altuve, and Lowry coming up in the Houston first. Astros come up with this starting lineup for Brad Mills, brought to you by Hyundai. Jordan Schaefer in center field, still not feeling up to par. Jose Altuve at second. Jed Lowry at shortstop. Cleanup man is left fielder J.D. Martinez, with Brett Wallace at first base, Chris Johnson in third, Brian Bogasevic in right field, Chris Snyder the catcher, Jay Happ the pitcher.
Big righty Lance Lynn for the Cardinals tonight, and boy, has he ever been good. 11 starts, he's 8-2 with a 2.63 ERA. We're getting just 2.15 against him. With a win tonight, he would tie R.A. Dickey atop the league lead with 9. Defensively, Holiday, Robinson, Beltran in the outfield. Infield, freezing for Call, Green, and Craig. Yadier Molina has thrown out 1 out of 3.
Inside this ballpark, the Astros are 18-13 this season. They're about to leave on a 9-game road trip. On the road, they are 6-19. Jordan Schaefer said his stomach still doesn't feel that great. 256, 2 homers, 15 runs batted in, a 320 on base average for Jordan. He's not had an at bat in this series. He's 2 for 12 with 2 runs batted in on this homestand. Lance Lynn delivers strike 1. Earlier today, R.A. Dickey of the Mets became the first 9-game winner in the majors. The Mets beating Washington 3-1. Lynn is trying to join him by notching win number 9 tonight. It's 1-1.
R.A. Dickey 9-1 now with a 2.44 ERA. The knuckleballer making his bid to be an all-star. Conroy's behind the plate. Carlson, Honora, and Hernandez on the bases.
Breaking pitch catches the edge. It's 1-2 to Schaefer.
Lynn's got the 4 basic pitches: fastball, curve, slider, change. We'll use that curveball a lot more than the slider. Fastball sits right around 93 miles an hour.
Schaefer strikes out. Lynn with 64 strikeouts in 68 2/3 innings.
Wasn't supposed to be in the rotation. Got the opportunity when Chris Carpenter got hurt. Talking about making the most of an opportunity. My goodness.
Yeah. He's taking this to the bank. Ryan and Lee next to each other in the stands. Altuve, 329, 6th best batting average in the league. 3 homers, 19 runs batted in. Is second in the league in hits with 73 hits. He has been torrid. There is ball 1 running inside on him. Altuve has hit .435 against St. Louis pitching this season. He is 6 for 10 in this series. He's hit .435 on this homestand, 10 for 23. So that's a nice neighborhood to be in. 1 ball, 1 strike to Altuve.
He's been unbelievable lately.
Had a 4-hit game on Tuesday to tie his career high. The second time he's done that. He's had multi-hit games in 5 of his last 7. JD had that stat earlier. Hitting .485 in the last 7 games.
Rare swing and a miss.
This is the first time he has seen Lynn.
First time he swung and missed in this series. And only the 30th time this year.
That is amazing. Pitch outside, 2-2. Jed Lowry, who will hit next, was saying that Altuve has just that terrific type of hand-eye coordination you talked about, that he seldom does swing and miss. And I asked him if there was a comparison between him and Dustin Pedroia. He said, well, there are certain comparisons. They are both just outstanding at that very thing, getting the bat on the baseball. Lynn pops it by him and strikes him out.
Making a liar out of us.
Yep.
And this one out of the zone. 95-mile-an-hour heater. Talked about Lynn sitting at about 93, but he's got a little bit more on it here tonight. Lynn won his first 6 decisions. His first 4 games, he allowed exactly 1 earned run in each of his first 4 starts. He's allowed more than 3 runs only once all year. Last time out, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. That was in a loss against the Mets.
Jed Lowry takes a strike. Boy, he just stopped. Everything stopped there as he heard that strike call. With 9 homers, he leads National League shortstops. 23 runs batted in and a .489 slugging percentage. Puts him on top of all Major League shortstops. Fouls that one back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes to Jed. Jed's 1 for 8 in this series. He's hitting .301 from this side of the plate. JD Martinez on deck. That one goes out to left center field. And Holiday's back, now backing off the wall, and Lowry has hit it out. Home run number 10 for the Astros club leader. Lowry gets his 24th run batted in. And it's 1-0 Houston in the first on an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. With that home run hit by Jed Lowry, another $10,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online to www.pcf.org.
And really the difference in last night's game, the Astros out-hit the Cardinals decisively in terms of number of hits, with the Cardinals with a couple of home runs. The Astros had all singles but one. Chris Johnson triple, and that's you got to hit the ball out of the ballpark every now and then.
Upstairs to JD Martinez. There's ball 1. JD's on a 7-game hitting streak, 244 for the season, 5 homers, 32 runs batted in. During his 7-game streak, he's gone 10 for 29, 345. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the 5th home run allowed by Lynn in 70 innings. Lowry taking it out to left field. Fastball is there for strike 2. Lowry's previous major league high for home runs in a season was 9 with Boston in 2010 in 171 at bats. 2-hopper goes out to the shortstop for call. And Lance Lynn was great against the 1, 2, and 4 hitters. They had Lowry down 0-2, but Lowry hit it in the seats for a 1-0 Houston lead.
And the Astros are excited to welcome Grammy Award-winning and platinum recording artist Third Day for Faith and Family Night on Saturday, June 23rd. The concert will take place following the 3:05 game, and the concert is included with your game ticket. Tickets for Faith and Family Night featuring Third Day are available at astros.com/third. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Alan Craig leads it off in the second inning, taking strike one from Jay Happ. Craig, really a fine hitter. Checks in tonight at .366, 7 homers, 24 runs batted in. We were marveling about him last night, and why not? He's gone 4 for 9 with a homer in this series. But this is no big secret, of course, in the Cardinal organization. Mark McGwire was salivating over him a couple of years ago as he started to work with him and David Freese. And I talked with Joe Patini about Alan Craig. Fouls it back. He said, you know, all along we knew he was an outstanding hitter. He's had some problems making throws, so third base didn't seem to be the best fit for him. Does not really have a good throwing motion, but from the outfield it's okay. But he said we felt all along that he would be a big time hitter.
Yeah, for average and power coming up through their minor league system, better than a third of his fly balls have gone for home runs.
Wow. Well, he had another big game last night. RBI single in the first, home run in the third. .415 against Houston. 5 homers, 15 runs batted in 13 games. So he's taken up for Albert Pujols. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Lance Berkman, for that matter. Foul back. Still 2-2 to Craig.
Cardinals offensively have been very good this year. Even through this recent downturn, they've continued to score runs. Their pitching has been the biggest issue for them lately. There's Big Mac. Mike Matheny, things were going so well for him early on in his first year as a big league manager. Being tested now, though.
3 balls, 2 strikes. His son Tate has been working out with the Cardinals and was drafted by St. Louis. An outfielder. We'll hear from the Astros' first pick, Carlos Correa, later on tonight with Bart. There's a strikeout for Happ. That's number 3 already for Jay of the first 4 batters.
Going back to last night, the last 24 Cardinals have been retired, and a whole bunch of them via the strikeout. Norris had 12. The bullpen added 3 more, and now Happ's got 3.
.267 for David Freese, including 10 homers, 34 runs batted in. Jay Happ looks sharp. He hits the corner on that one for strike 1. Freese is 3 for 8 with an RBI in this series. Carlos Correa worked out on the field before the game tonight. No balls, 2 strikes.
How did he look, Brownie?
Oh, he looked good. You know, he was just banging out line drives. He was not trying to hit the ball out of the park.
Wow, this is impressive.
Yes, it is.
These hitters are not pulling the trigger on Happ's fastball. He's very deceptive with that delivery, and he's getting after it tonight. Continuing this run of outstanding pitching.
This is Deshaies like with all these strikeouts early in the game.
This is like Koufax.
Yadier Molina settles in at .326 with 8 homers, 32 runs batted in with an excellent start. He's late on that one.
Going to miss. These guys they're hapless against Happ.
And this is a club leading the league in total bases and slugging percentage. Over shortstop, it goes out to left by J.D. Martinez. 6 straight outs for Jay Happ and a 1-0 lead for the Astros. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Before the game, the #1 overall draft choice, Carlos Correa, just having signed his contract. Had a little workout. Spraying line drives around the ballpark, taking some ground balls at shortstop, getting a chance to meet the major leaguers. And all cameras were on him. See that one, that swing right there, JD? He hit a lot of those line drives to right center field in BP.
Just 17 years of age. So, I don't know, ETA 2014 maybe? Is that too optimistic?
Don't know. You know, the great players seem to move up quickly, don't they? Red Wallace leads it off. Here's ball 1 in the dirt. Wally 5 for 10 since joining the Astros with no homers, 2 runs batted in. He's made some nice adjustments to his hitting. And he talked about those around the batting cage tonight. That's a good heater. 1 ball, 1 strike. But he's getting himself started better and just covering the plate better, I think, JD, than he was last year.
I haven't seen enough of his, enough at bats yet to draw any conclusions. But it's off to a good start.
That's there for strike 2, 1 and 2, as Lynn pitches him tough.
Well, Lynn throws hard, plus has good movement, good tailing action, a little sinkage.
Wallace takes that one in tight. That's what he's done pretty well, too. He's taken those inside pitches off the plate. Last night he had 2 hits and he was hit by a pitch. He drove in a run. So that's a part of it. Taking the pitches he doesn't want to swing at. Recognizing those early. He lines one up the right field line. Looks like a double into the corner. Beltran over to play it. Wallace going to second. Dave Clark holding him. He's going to get back as the throw comes wide. Hold on there. A double for Wallace is second. He did stop him kind of late, though, and Brett had rounded the bag.
The third base coach has the benefit of knowing where the ball is. The base runner doesn't. So the coach can bring you as far as he wants. If he realizes they're not going to be able to make a play on you before throwing up a stop sign, it can be a little nerve-wracking for the base runner because he's not exactly sure where the ball is. As it dies in that corner, that's what allowed him to contemplate taking 3 bases. Great job there picking up the third base coach. You see so many guys running between first and second, peeking back over their shoulder, trying to find the ball as opposed to just picking up their coach.
That was a good shot of him doing exactly that. Now Chris Johnson will try to get him home after Wallace's second 2-base hit. And he taps the breaking pitch foul. Strike 1. CJ at 292 with 5 homers has driven in 26.
And that at bat right there, Wally was able to turn on an inside pitch.
Yep. That's what I think he's really improved in his hitting style. Chris Johnson 2 for 8 with an RBI, and as you say, it's a little premature to make a big deal out of it. Just a few at bats. Bogusevic's on deck. But as Brett talked about it tonight, and the count is 1-1, it was obvious that he recognized what the pitchers had been doing to attack him, and he addressed that issue.
Mike Barnett often makes the point that the second year for a major league player is sometimes the toughest year once the pitchers figure you out and start to adjust.
Liner fair into the right field corner again. This one kicks out towards center field. It's 2-0 Astros. RBI double, Chris Johnson.
CJ had a pretty nice sustained run here of good at-bats. He's really been using the other field effectively. He still will pull off that curveball every now and then. Looks like he's trying to hit it, up on the train tracks, and that's okay because he has that kind of power, and there's nothing wrong with taking that kind of a swing every now and then. But for the most part, he's had a good middle of the field, other way approach, and it's really paying dividends for him.
That's his 27th run batted in. It's 2-0 on back-to-back doubles, and Bogusevic follows. 12 2-base hits for Johnson. Bogusevic is 2 for 5 with a homer in this series. He takes, and there's ball one to Bryan. Came up with the pinch hit RBI single last night. 3 homers and 14 runs batted in.
Lynn likes to throw that two-seamer down and see if you give Bogey a little fastball, a little in, a little down. That's a pitch Bogey likes to hit. Staying soft with the breaker.
2 balls, no strikes for Lance Lynn. He was shut out. His team was shut out at New York in that last start, which he lost 5-0. He gave up 5 hits and walked 4 in 4 2/3 innings. Wallace got the inning started very nicely, and then came around to score run number 2. That's in for a strike. That makes it 2-1 to Bogey. Cardinals go back home while the Astros head for Chicago after this game.
3 consecutive breaking balls here from Lynn. See if in his mind and Molina's mind, if they feel like they've gotten Bogey off the fastball, if they'll challenge him or if they're just going to continue to throw breaking pitches. With a heater. 3 consecutive curveballs and slipped a piece of cheese by him. And you can understand why you might be a little late on a fastball, because if the pitcher throws you a 2-0 curveball, you have to figure he's going to throw you any pitch in any count at that point.
2-2 to Bogusevic. Matt Holliday very deep in left field. Struck him out. Number 3 for Lynn. Chris Snyder follows.
Just blew it right by him.
Snyder caught Tuesday night, had 2 hits and drove in 2 runs.
Seen Lynn as high as 95 with the fastball, curveball at 78.
The Houston native Snyder has 16 hits, 14 runs batted in this. And as you see at the bottom of that graphic, he has had very good production from his hits. He is 3 for 7 with 2 runs batted in against the Cardinals this season. And delivers strike 1. Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon.
What's Jimmy doing? Where's he hanging out?
He's hanging out up there on the edge of the concourse, it looks like. Ah. He's just chilling right now. Line shot left field. Dave Clark throws up a stop sign for Johnson. And it's a single for Snyder, the 3rd hit of the inning, bringing up Happ with 1 out.
Now this ballpark, you know, for a right-handed pull hitter, you're going to get some cheap home runs into the Crawford boxes, but it's going to steal some RBIs from you as well. Hit the ball this sharply to left field. Almost impossible to score CJ there.
Jay Happ will try to get CJ home from 3rd. He has 1 RBI. He has 2 hits and 21 at-bats for an .095 batting average. Jay was a pinch runner last night at second base for the injured Marwin Gonzalez. And then he was replaced a few pitches after he went into pinch run by another pinch runner, Wesley Wright. And the Astros were shorthanded. Round a bunt, and he takes strike 1.
I think what happened was, you know, they got caught by surprise when Gonzalez got hurt. Brad Mills had almost nobody left on his bench, so he knew he was going to use the pitcher. So, you know, Happ's a good athlete. He said, hey, Jay, get out there and run. And then he realized, wait a minute, that's my starting pitcher tomorrow night. I cannot afford to have him blow out. So get back in here.
Yeah. So I was joking with Jay around the cage. I said, what happened? Didn't you get a big enough lead? It took you right out of that game. He pops the bunt back. 0-2. But yeah, Millsy was strapped for personnel last night. But that was the 8th inning of the game. The Astros were trying to play catch up, down by 1. They wound up using 3 of the 4 bench players. Chris Snyder, the only one unused in that game last night. But Brad will stay with these 4 bench players through interleague play in Texas at the end of this next road trip, and then probably add a 5th bench player at that point. He'd rather have the extra pitcher for interleague play, and that makes sense.
Sure, yeah, well, especially in the American League parks when you're using the DH.
And that will be the case tomorrow night at U.S. Cellular in Chicago. Brad Mills' club is taking on the White Sox. It will be Wandy Rodriguez and Gavin Floyd. Airtime 6:30 for Astros Live tomorrow night. Happ takes a look at it. It's a ball.
That's the first place Chicago White Sox. Half game lead over Cleveland entering play today. Tribe got beat by Detroit. White Sox have a 1-zip lead over Toronto early.
There's a look at it. They're 31-25. Detroit a disappointing 26-31. After being picked by many to win the division. Runner coming. It's a squeeze, and he fouls it for the strikeout. Well, that's interesting.
That was bold.
Yeah, 2-strike squeeze play. And that strikeout number 4 for Lynn.
And not a good at bat for Jay. Took that first pitch right down the middle. Was probably the best bunt to try, or the best pitch to try to get down.
Well, last night Brad Mills tried to hit and run with the pitcher, Bud Norris, batting. So he's doing some different things. Jordan Schaefer struck out in the first.
I think because Schaefer hasn't been playing lately, he's been sicker than a dog. You know, that's part of the reason why you squeeze there too, to try to get that run home. It's very difficult to count on Schaefer the way he's been feeling. Maybe he'll come through though.
Inside ball 1, and Brad Mills was asked about that hit and run with Bud Norris, and the catcher Jason Castro was a runner at first. He said, well, I really wanted to get him to third, and I figured, you know, if he grounded out, at least I'd get him to second, but a bunt would have done that. But we really wanted to get him in motion and maybe get him to third base, because it would have been hard for him to score from second on a single if he had only reached second base. And you talked about the left fielder in this ballpark, JD. You get a sharp single to left field and you just can't think about scoring a Jason Castro.
Yeah.
2-0 the count. 38 pitches for Lance Lynn. Adam Wainwright was the winner last night. He went 5 2/3, and then 5 relievers paraded to the mound for Mike Matheny in the Cardinals' 4-3 win. And one of the quotes from Matheny in the newspaper coverage today indicated, he said, well, that's kind of what we've got right now. We're going to have to do a lot of that with the relief pitchers. In fact, they put starter Jaime Garcia on the disabled list today, and they've called up a relief pitcher, Fernando Salas. And it's a left shoulder strain for Garcia. Strike, 3-1.
Previously, they had shut him down with an elbow problem.
Yeah, that's not good. You've got one injury and then another a short time after that. Well, his velocity was down. And that's ball 4. Schaefer takes the walk to load the bases for Altuve. And the Astros have a shot at a big inning now. First walk for Lynn.
Happ really throwing the ball well. He might not need a lot of run support tonight the way he's going. This is a critical at bat for Altuve. The Astros stranded all kinds of base runners in the game last night.
Altuve struck out in the first inning. He's hit .250 with the bases loaded. 1 for 2 this season with 4 runs batted in. Altuve has hit really well with men in scoring position, period. Lowry's on deck. Jose, .341 with men in scoring position. How's it back, strike 1.
It speaks to the life on Lynn's fastball, the swings and misses you got from Altuve in that first at bat, and then that one fouled straight back. Pitches that typically Altuve's putting in play. Cracker Jacks. Probably a surprise in there. Maybe a tattoo. Little miniature pinball machine.
Yeah, it could be. Altuve's trying to tattoo one of these pitches here. Hit a gapper somewhere. Takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Lynn is 1-0 with a 1.50 ERA in 2 career games against the Astros, 1 as a starter. Johnson, Snyder, and Schaefer the base runners. Now it's Altuve versus Lynn and an 0-2 count. Lynn, 26 years old, from Marion County, Indiana, and the University of Mississippi. And he gets another strikeout of Altuve. That's 2 for him against Jose. And it's 1 run, 3 hits, and 3 left for the Astros. They lead it 2-0 after 2.
Of the game. Today, our progressive fan of the game is Malachi Morales, and his story is very special because he's been an Astros fan, a diehard Astros fan, since they played their very first game as the Colt 45s in 1962. He is 98 years old, and his wonderful daughter brought him here for Father's Day and an early birthday present. He'll be 99 in November.
November, yeah. That's December. November. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, do you remember the very first Astros game?
Yeah, I like it very much. I'm credible for the Astros, you know. When he lose, I lose too.
When they lose, you lose too?
Yes, right. Yeah, you better believe it.
You started listening to them on the radio?
Yeah, I started with hearing the radio, then I started TV. We decided to buy TV.
So Malachi and his family, they're big Fox Sports Houston folks because they watch every single game, and I had to sandwich myself in here between him and a Cardinals fan because they were going at it down here. I didn't want anything bad to happen. Well, Malachi, congratulations on 98, soon to be 99 great years as an Astros fan. His daughter even bought him his first Astros jersey, which you wear well.
What's his secret? How does he's so vibrant at 98? My goodness.
Jim DeShays wants to know what's your secret for being so vibrant at 98 years old.
Oh, yeah, you better believe it, you know. I credit for the Astros, you know.
Being an Astros fan is the secret.
I know, yeah. Well, the Astros, they play the same thing, you know. When you plant one plant on the ground, sometimes they fall down, but sometimes they go up again. No need rain, you know. They go up anyway. The same thing those Astros doing.
Yeah. Well, we certainly appreciate you being with us, and congratulations. You are the progressive fan of the game. This is an odd night for me, Brownie, because I'm interviewing a 98-year-old Astros fan. Soon, in the next couple of innings, I'll be interviewing a 17-year-old Astros player. So, back to you guys.
Well, just tell Malachi to hang in there until Correa gets to the big league.
That's right.
First debut.
Then we'll have a story. Thanks, Bart. Tyler Green got a single. He's taking off on the pitch. It's hit in the air by Robinson. And Shane fouls it out of play for strike one.
Green broke up the perfect game. Astros were 1 out away from retiring 27 consecutive Cardinals last night and tonight. All the players would have ran on the field. And we would have, what are they doing? Hey, that's kind of freaky.
Where is that?
Outside, because they're having a schmag.
Oh, yeah, it's back behind us, isn't it? No balls and a strike. One ball, one strike with Lynn on deck. It was really refreshing to hear from Carlos Correa, who handled his news conference extremely well today with a lot of media people. He handled it in bilingual fashion, very adeptly. Says he wants to be in the Hall of Fame. There's a strike, 1-2. He said he really wants to get out and play, did not want extended negotiations. Signed his contract today. You'll hear from him later with Bart. And he will be going out to play next week in Florida. It's been a real celebration in Puerto Rico. Foul back. It's really ironic, too, JD, that the previous highest drafted player from Puerto Rico was Ramon Castro, the catcher who was drafted first round by the Astros back in '94, I believe.
That's correct, yeah. I think he was 17th overall pick, maybe, something like that.
And Carlos is on with Milo and Brett on Astros radio right now.
We're going to find out if he's trilingual.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the Astros have signed 2 players. And if you were watching last night, you heard from the 3rd round pick they signed. Freddie Rogers is from this area, as Bart talked to him. Arizona State right-hander. So they're getting after it with the signings. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Robinson. Fouled away. Let's see what we have from Puerto Rico.
All-time hit leaders: Roberto Clemente, Pudge, Robbie Alomar, Orlando Cepeda, Bernie Williams.
Robbie Alomar wore the number 12, and Carlos Correa said, as he put on the number 12 today, he said, well, it was partly because of Robbie Alomar, but they really had the number 12 for him at the press conference because he was the first overall pick in 2012. Foul back, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. These 2 teams have been playing in the same division since '94. And since then, when the Cardinals and Astros joined the NL Central, the Cardinals have won 138, the Astros 132. Correa will be playing in Florida for the Gulf Coast League team in Kissimmee. That's where he went to work out, and that was the decisive factor for general manager Jeff Luhnow when he saw his workout and saw that he was able to turn on inside fastballs from the pitchers for that Gulf Coast League team. He had a lot of at-bats in one day in the workout. In the air, right field line. Bogusevic giving chase. He's against the barrier, and it's out of play for him.
Well, that'll provide a great start for him. You know, it's low pressure baseball down there. There's not a lot of people in the stands watching those games. There'll be a lot of Hispanic kids and guys his age, just a little bit older. It should be a fairly smooth transition for him.
And he got phone calls from Yadier Molina and Carlos Beltran of the Cardinals. So he's really being celebrated. The governor wanted to meet him Monday, but he's not going to be in town Monday. Runner going, and it's foul back. He's quite a celebrity in Puerto Rico right now. And somebody asked him about the money. We don't know what the money was for his signing, but by all reports it was under the cap of $7.2 million.
I'm hearing 4.8.
Okay. We had heard it was going to be between 4 and 5, and he said, well, that's fine. He said, the money didn't matter that much to me right now. I just want to make sure my family is out of debt, and I'll make money at the big leagues. Grounder goes foul.
He just made a lot of money.
Yeah, he did. Did well, didn't he?
Yeah. And the Astros did well, too, in signing him. If that is the number, that will free them up. That will give them more resources to sign some of these other kids like McCullers, who they took with the 41st pick. And many feel like he's top 10 talent. What a haul it would be if they could get him signed as well.
Yes, it would be. 3-2. Well, according to the stories, and Scott Boras evidently is the representative for McCullers in his talks, but McCullers is prepared to go to college, according to the stories. And I believe it's the University of Florida. So he has options, and that gives him a lot of leverage in the talks. But the Astros are really going to make a strong run at him. Runner going. And the pitch was ball 4, so no need to throw by Snyder. It's first and second, nobody out now, and Lynn coming up with a chance to bunt the runners along.
After blowing through the first 6 hitters, he gets down to this, what you would assume would be the soft spot of the lineup, and Green singles, and then Robinson works a 12-pitch walk. And now Lance Lynn will be up there to try to push them both along with a sacrifice bunt.
Lynn has 2 sacrifices this year.
And before we get too far along, I fumbled a couple of hellos last night. I want to take another shot at it. Laura Strasburg, that was the name of the lady we were thinking of last night. A long-time Astro fan. And then the birthday girl was Molly Mayfield, celebrating her 40th birthday yesterday. A big fan. Was nice enough to give us a card, Browning, when we were at that.
Good.
When I was with that Schaefer yesterday at that Whataburger deal.
Bunt popped up, barehanded. Chris Johnson over to Altuve, and it's a sacrifice for Lynn, his 3rd of the year, getting Green to 3rd and Robinson to 2nd, 1 out.
Well executed there by Lynn. Pushed it down towards 3rd base. No option but to go to 1st for the out.
That brings up for Call. Call opened the game with a strikeout. For Call's a .255 career hitter against Houston. Last year he had a broken left thumb that limited him to 333 at bats for the Redbirds. Began his career with Atlanta, played for the Dodgers. There's strike 1 for Call. Half misses, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Jay, with 4 wins at home and none on the road, falls under that same umbrella that several of the Astros starting pitchers have found, and that is much better results here at Minute Maid Park than on the road this year. Has a lot to do with the disparity in the team's record, home versus road. Bunt pushed, and that'll get a run home, and it's also an infield hit as he got it by Happ. And Wallace came over. It was in that no man's land, and for Call wound up with an infield RBI single. His 27th run batted in to make it 2-1 Houston.
Oh, what a nice bunt by Call. The perfectly executed sacrifice by Lynn, and now this little push bunt. Gets the ball up about letter high, punches it out there towards 2nd base. You see the Astros back in the middle of the diamond, and no chance to make a play on him. He gets 1 home, and he also moves Robinson over to 3rd base, where he can now come home in a similar play or a sac fly. Highly unlikely that Beltran's going to bunt.
Beltran lined to left his first time up. Double play situation here for the Astros. For Call, with 9 steals and 11 tries, takes his lead. Beltran was a 2nd-round pick from Puerto Rico by Kansas City in '95. There's ball 1 to him. Tampa Bay's leading the Yankees 5-1 at Yankee Stadium. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning with David Price on the mound.
Price and Sabathia.
Oh, good matchup. It's Atlanta 2, Miami 1. They're in the last of the 6th in Miami. Martin Prado hit his 4th for the Braves. Jose Reyes, number 1 for Miami.
Look at a rogue camera tonight.
It's a nice look. Did we get some rain before the game?
Yeah, I think we did.
Pop foul, out of play for Brad Wallace. 1-2. The Astros will be gone for 10 days, and they'll return home to play the Cleveland Indians in interleague play. Be a different feel for that next homestand.
Well, you know, when you looked at the interleague schedule, it's that, hey, the Astros are catching a break, playing the White Sox and Cleveland, 2 clubs that weren't expected to do much, but they're atop the AL Central.
Pitch inside 2-2. That homestand starts with Kansas City on June 18th through the 20th, then Cleveland over the weekend, 22nd through 24th, then San Diego for 4.
Kansas City would be a fun club to watch.
Yes.
All that young firepower they have, they score a lot of runs.
Mike Moustakas and Eric Hosmer. Fly ball right field. Bogusevic with the runner at third, tagging with 1 out. And that's going to tie it 2-2 on the sac fly by Beltran. His 43rd run batted in.
That RBI opportunity was there for him because of the push bunt by Furcal. So, excellent baseball by the Cardinal leadoff man. Driving one home with a bunt and then setting up Beltran to get another one home with a fly ball to right. Furcal had gone back and tagged. If he sees this ball headed home, he would have gone to second base. Bogey obviously fully aware of that. Threw the ball into second. Had no real shot at Robinson at home.
It's Matt Holliday who struck out in the first inning. Taking ball 1. Cardinals are 9-7 against lefty starters. It's Boston 6, Baltimore nothing. Bottom of the 5th. That's an interesting series with Boston at 500, 28-28. Baltimore 8 games over right now. Ryan Mattis lasted only 2 for the Orioles. Clay Buchholz on the mound for the Sox. 2 balls, no strikes.
Very aggressive with the fastball first time through the order. Now figuring the Cardinals may have better chance of catching up with that heater, having seen it one time around. He's trying to mix in more breaking balls and changeups.
2-1 to Holliday. Ryan Ludwig and Jay Bruce have homered for the Reds. Bruce is 13th of the year, but the Pirates lead it 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th at Cincinnati. It's 3-1. Happ has lost 5 straight starts to the Redbirds. Overall 1-7 with a 6.70 ERA against the Cardinals. He lost to Lynn here at Houston just about a year ago, June 9th last year. And now he walks Holliday to bring up Alan Craig with 2 on and 2 out. After buzzing through the first 2, retiring 6 in a row, he gave up a single to Green, walked Robinson, then a sac bunt, then the push bunt, RBI single by Furcal, and a Beltran sac fly. That brings out Doug Brocail.
And that outside corner to the right-handed hitters that he was commanding early, he's just leaving some pitches off the plate there. Didn't want to give in to Holliday once he fell behind him. He's going to start fresh with Craig, and that's the problem, though. Craig also a very dangerous hitter. The key now, as he moves through this middle part of the order for the second time, if he can find a way to get ahead with something maybe other than a get-over fastball, a little slower curveball, or if he can paint that corner down in a way, maybe have Snyder set up on that outside corner a little bit, see if he can steal one from the umpire out there.
Craig hit a home run last time he faced Happ, and he has 2 career homers off Jay, going 5 for 8 against him. There's strike one, quality pitch, but Jay struck him out in the second.
First pitch change up there, perfect spot. Maybe just a hair off that edge, but that's a good pitch.
Mike Matheny has hitters in this lineup who have been very successful against Happ. In the air, foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Mike in his first managing assignment at any level. Toronto leads 3-1 after 2 over the White Sox at U.S. Cellular. Jake Peavy on the losing end in the early going. Alan Craig was an 8th round pick in the 06 draft. Jeff Luhnow came over to greet several of the Cardinal players he had known so well. Jeff got his World Series ring here in this series from owner Bill DeWitt, but he is not wearing it, he said. 1-2. That's the second one he's received from the Redbirds. Alan Craig played with a fractured kneecap last year. Waited till November for surgery. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He hurt that kneecap here, running into that railing outside the right field line.
I don't think Happ's intention was to come that far up with that fastball, but not a bad idea. He's been working mostly away with his fastball. Not a bad idea with all these right-handed hitters in the lineup to straighten a hitter up and remind them that he's willing to come hard in. Take away a little of the comfort factor.
Yep. And missing away there, he goes to a full count. A freeze on deck. Happ has thrown 60 pitches in this game. Bud Norris gave up 3 in the first last night, another in the third, but wound up going 6 innings. Didn't walk anybody, and he fanned 12. First Astros starting pitcher with that many strikeouts and no walks, and Shane Reynolds. 3-2, 2 outs, runners go, and it's hit up the right field line. Bogusevic's running out of room. It's out of play for him. Not for him, though.
There I was, and then I looked up, and there was the ball.
He is dead to this game for the rest of the night. That's all he's going to care about from this point on. He's become a celebrity. And the runners go again on 3-2 with 2 outs. Broken bat pop up. Altuve out. It could be dropping for a hit. It's in there, and the Cardinals will take the lead. Craig gets his 25th run batted in, and the Cardinals lead at 3-2 on the broken bat pop fly single. For call scoring, Holiday going to third.
That's just awful. It's a terrible turn of events that this turned out to be a base hit. Shatters his bat. He worked so hard. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. You induce that weak contact and think, okay, I'm finally out of trouble. Go back into the dugout, and instead it drops in. One comes in. You're back in that same old first and third situation. You got to start fresh with another dangerous hitter.
David Freese, who struck out looking. Yeah, it's not as if they've been ripping the ball.
No, man, they made a lot out of a couple sacks. One single by Furcal. That flare. Green had a legitimate hit to get things started.
His 37th pitch of the inning is fouled back by Freese, and it's 1-1. Matt Cain of the Giants won his 7th today, winning 8-3 in San Diego for Jason Marquis. It's 2-1. Cardinals have sent 8 batters to the plate here in the 3rd inning. Reiner Cruz is warming up for Houston, or about to start warming up. Yeah, he is throwing now. Buster Posey hit his 7th homer today. He swung, and it's 2-2 on Freese. Milwaukee scored in the 10th and beat the Cubs. There's that swing. 4-3 Milwaukee. Axford the winner. LaHare hit his 12th for the Cubs. Aoki hit 2 for Milwaukee. Swing and a miss, and that ends it. But the Cardinals take the lead with 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2 in the 3rd inning, and they're up 3-2.
Center making cancer history on this date, 1967, in what was then the biggest win in team history. The Astros crushed the Cardinals 17-1. Bob Ospromani went 5 for 6 with 3 RBIs. Bo Belinsky got the win. And Claude Ramon went 3 1/3 for the save. June 7th, 1967. Guys?
Hey, Greg, Al Roboski, who works next door for the Cardinals on TV, said that they're considering changing the save rule next year. That would make things interesting, JD. I know you probably would be in favor of that.
Yeah, I think the save is a real cheap statistic.
Al Roboski is certainly in favor of a change in that direction.
I wonder what they would do to it, though. I mean, obviously, we know that it is pretty easy in some cases, but I wonder what changes they would make.
He didn't say. Jed Lowry leading it off. He homered in the 1st inning to left field. But here's what I'd like to see. Here's ball 1. Not that we would be considered on this, JD, but a pitcher must face the potential tying run at the plate to get a save.
Get rid of the on-deck stuff and the
right.
That's one start I agree with.
And the 3-inning save in a blowout, that's kind of silly.
That needs to go. Fly ball center, Robinson back. What have you really saved if you come in with a 10-0 lead after 6? 1 down. Al was talking about Wesley Wright being used as a pinch runner last night. And, he ran for Jay Happ, who had been used as a pinch runner for the injured Marwin Gonzalez. And Al said, that caught me by surprise one time. I was warming up, and the call came down the bullpen, and the question was, are you ready to go in? And he said, what are you talking about? I've got another half inning here while our team bats. They said, no, you need to go into pinch run. He said, after that, I started warming up earlier if they were going to use me as a pinch runner. J.D. Martinez grounded out earlier. There's strike 1.
Hungo could do it all.
Fred Wallace on deck. Lance Lynn missed with that one. 1-1. Lynn has had great run support. 6.98 runs per 9 innings, tying him for the best in the National League so far. Not that he hasn't deserved the 8 wins. His ERA is 2.63. 2 balls and a strike. Fastball clocked on a line to left. Holiday. 2 outs. Well hit ball by JD.
Where's the justice? Craig's ball's a knock, and that's an out. That's horrific. Great swing.
He squared that. Two down, and it's Brett Wallace now. He lined a double to right field. Speaking of the justice, in that Clemens trial, sounds like Rusty Hardin and the judge got into it yesterday. There's strike one.
What happened? They yelling at each other?
Pretty much, yeah. The way it was reported anyway. They were having heated words with each other.
I'll make a good movie someday.
It might. 1 ball, 1 strike as Carlos Lee comes back from a hamstring injury, getting treatment. Currently on the 15-day disabled list. And he is improving. Ooh. That's a very good placement of that off-speed pitch. 1 and 2.
Well, Wallace showed the ability to get to that hard stuff in last time, and Lynn counters with a nice changeup.
Sure did.
Brett was smirking about halfway through the swing. He knew he had been had.
And again, he got it and struck out. So, in the 3rd inning, that takes care of strikeout number 6 for Lynn, and he maintains a 3-2 lead.
We move to the 4th. Join us for the next Flashback Friday on June 22nd as the Astros host the Indians, featuring the 1970s rainbow jerseys on the field. 10,000 fans will receive a Craig Biggio Greatest Moments bobblehead, courtesy of Coca-Cola. And then after the game, all the fans can enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil. Buy tickets at Astros.com. You know, when the Astros are in Chicago, it's a shame we can't get the Stros and the White Sox to both do the flashback uniforms from the 70s. Huh, guys?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, break out the shorts.
Shorts, absolutely.
Yeah. Harry Chappas in the shorts. That was ball 1 to Yadier Molina. He hit a fly ball to left.
Yeah, those big, wide kind of lapels.
That was a different looking uniform for sure. 2 balls, no strikes. It's 3-0 to Molina.
He Exactly how J. Happ did not want this inning to start, an opportunity to come back and reestablish command of the strike zone, and he's misfiring here to Molina.
Molina was hit by the bat on that Wallace strikeout to end the inning. Fouls that one back with a 3-0 swing.
The fact that they allow Molina to swing 3-0 tells you about how far he's come as a hitter. And there, on the way back through, he got clipped a little bit.
Like a sword fight. That's ball 4. Molina takes the leadoff walk. Third walk for Happ. Let's go to Bart.
Hey, Astros fans, Chevrolet is proud to present a new show